our International Vice President, Ray Familetti, who in my opinion, along with Willie Adams, were the architects of an incredible, successful campaign from the international level to the local level and so forth. And I'd like Ray to come up and talk about that for a minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say to the family, thank you for sharing Pete. Pete was someone I met early in my career during the late 80s, early 90s. Reminded me a lot of my father. My father was in the Merchant Marine, a merchant seaman with APL in Matson, and then became a longshoreman. Pete's one of the characters of his generation that I gravitated towards because he had stories, and like so many others, he didn't always reflect on just the past. I mean, he was just current. Early in my career, I was part of an ILW unit here in the Port of LA, Long Beach with Local 13. 300 of us got locked out. I remember when we got locked out in, Harbor Coalition meetings and many supporters, Pete would tell me, a lot of times when people are later in their career, I'll just say, have more seniority than others. They'll reflect and tell you stories about them. He told me what I needed to do and how I needed to mobilize and what my group of workers needed to do, and that was inspiring. And it really, his comments and contributions really meant a lot to me in my career as I evolved. One of Pete's passions was the LA County Federation of Labor, and as Dave mentioned, the ILWU this past year, 2009 and through 2010, was in a huge struggle out in Boron, California. ILW Local 30 represents 570 miners out in the borax mine there. That mine is owned by Rio Tinto, second largest mining mineral company in the world, pretty much a David and Goliath type of thing for the ILWU, which is a pretty small union compared to others, to take on one of the most powerful multinational mining companies in the world. And Pete's passion being the LA County Federation of Labor, well, the ILW was up to the challenge. We're always ready for a good fight, but this was more than we could handle. It wasn't just the ILWU and our friends. It was the entire labor movement, but the LA County Federation of Labor was the backbone of this, along with the Food and Drug Council, Paul Kenny, Maria Elena DeRosa, and all the County Federation of Labor unions. We were locked out up in Boron, California on January 31st of this year. Rio Tinto was trying to force a concessionary contract down our throat with many contract proposals that weren't compulsory. One of the contract proposals said that they wanted the union to waive its right to pursue any federal laws or state laws that Rio Tinto might violate, that we would just waive that. And just many other concessionary type things. We wouldn't agree to this, and they used the lockout. The ILWU in 2002 was locked out, and in this modern age of the 21st century, employers that don't want to bargain lock their workers out. On January 31st, we were locked out. We mobilized Willie Adams, our Secretary and Treasurer, President McElrath, all of our titled officers. But the key and success and the backbone of this fight was the LA County Fed and all the unions down here. My thanks to the Teamsters and all the unions. Very quickly, mobilization of unions and ideas, and a caravan from Dodger Stadium all the way to Boron, California, up in the middle of the Mojave Desert, with the Teamster rigs loaded with food, setting up the food bank. It was just tremendous. The struggle went on for months, and just a few days ago, on May 13th, we reached a tentative agreement, and on May 15th, 2 days later, the workers ratified that agreement, and 570 workers are back to working. These type mobilizations don't come easy. They come with a commitment of, like Pete Goodman, being willing to go to city council meetings, mobilizing the community, going after the politicians. In this struggle, we had to seek out our friends that we've helped get elected in politics. We were able to block a land swap deal where Rio Tinto and Arizona owned worthless land. The U.S. government had land that's got copper on it. They wanted to make a land swap deal so Rio Tinto could increase their profits even more. We were able, through help of our senators and congressmen, block that deal. So they lost millions of dollars from London to Long Beach, from Seattle to Sydney. The ILW attended the shareholder meetings of Rio Tinto. I took one of the workers to London. We attended the shareholder meetings where we took the board of directors on, and the shareholders, and I told them they had made a bad business decision. I said the ILWU and its friends, the labor movement in the United States and internationally, would beat every place Rio Tinto would. And at the end of the day, it was going to cost them money. And through everyone's support in this room, your unions, the community, I want to thank you on behalf of the ILWU. It was a tremendous victory for the labor movement and the ILWU and those 570 workers that this past week are back to work. So thank you very much.